Hello and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast. I'm Ryan. With me is Drago.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm Drago. I forgot where the button. Okay, I'm using Discord on mobile, so like the entire I forgot the layout.
All right. So welcome to another podcast for Power Rangers Beast Morphers. The subject of this episode is episodes 9 to 13. Uh, so picking up where we left off with the Rangers discovering that Evox is Devin's dad, like they're sharing the same body because of, wonky physics and whatnot. The team is putting together a plan to try and capture Evox by freezing him in solid ice, like
Uh,
stronger than diamonds.
Diamond.
Uh, we
Yeah,
get
okay, sorry.
no, you go on.
No, I really like the fact that the commander immediately just said, "Shut it all down. We are going back to the old system because Evox must have done something there."
Right, all right, he's been spying on us for months at least. Like he knows everything. He knows too much. Uh, ben and
Yeah.
Ben and Betty test out the ice thing on their dad's tuxedo for some reason. So they try to jackhammer it out and break a hole in the floor and fall into a cavern. And all the Rangers are just kind of not concerned about it.
They're concerned, but then you hear we are fine from the bottom, and they're like, okay, if they're fine, they're fine.
Devin's conflict is says he wants to save his dad, but they can't guarantee that because they don't know how to separate them. So we get Devin doing some research into Ranger history and a guest appearance from Dr. K. Nothing? Uh, so this so Dr. K, if you don't know, is a character from Power Rangers RPM, where one of the Rangers in that show turned out to be a robot. So Devin hopes that her expertise can help him with his dad.
What?
Unfortunately, what was that? Drago? Uh, Unfortunately, uh, she doesn't have any experience with this specific situation. Drago? Uh, Hold on, people.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. What were you trying to say?
No, I got disconnected for a second. So what are you on?
I'm talking about Dr. K.
Oh, that was a surprise.
Right?
I like
Like, wow, okay.
the funny thing is they have data on ranges from not only from other dimension, and they're like, okay, let's just talk to someone there. like a Skype call.
Right? Like the person is just so casual, like, Commander, we're receiving a call from another dimension. But, like, it's like a normal
uh,
two-state thing.
yeah, technology must have progressed very fast. Uh, wait, what I was gonna say is that the funny thing is I really like the fact that they use the fact that the Black Ranger and RPM was getting taken over by the Vengeance, so they're like, okay, so similar thing happened to that guy. Let's just contact that person. Uh, so let's see if it can work. And that was pretty cool.
So Dr. K suggests, like, hey, I don't have any expertise with this situation, but I read about some Dino Rangers that use some weird tech to separate two people from each other. You should look into that.
Yeah, and okay, so basically, since you haven't seen Dino Charge,
I have not seen
uh,
Dino Charge.
okay, the mentor from Pure User.
Yes.
Okay, so he was in Dino Charge. He was taken over by some other guy. So he was evil. So what happens is that they use the same thing to separate them. I think it's kind of like the Anton Mercer Mesogov thing, like how they got separated by similar technology.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm like, so you were I was this was really, what do you call it, surprising, because they are using a thing from another season to fix their problems.
That seems to be the thing with this season in particular. Is like, hey, there's like 20 plus years, almost 30 years even, of like Power Rangers history. Let's do something with it.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool. Like, especially the fact that there's a vault full of Ranger tech that they use to make their technology. And from what I what do you call it, from the things I gathered from that vault, it's stuff from the 25th anniversary crossover, and in overdrive, bunch of Rangers showed up for, yeah, what do you call it?
Um,
It's called Once a Ranger. Yeah, the where Ninja
oh,
Storm, SPD,
yeah,
Bounty Hunter
once a
Rangers.
Ranger, yeah, you had Red SPD, which was Bridge, who was green during the show. He got promoted twice. Uh, God, you had, I want to say, Ninja Storm
You had
Blue.
you had Ninja Storm Blue. I think Dino Thunder Yellow, Mystic Force Green, and
And,
Black Ranger,
yeah, Adam.
Black Mighty Morphin. Yeah, Adam. So all of the stuff are from seasons that they have been in, and from seasons that are government technology, like Lightspeed Rescue. So yeah, so I was wondering what is up. So I was wondering if, like, those two, the technology that got from those two crossovers were given to them, and then I'm wondering by who. Like, who's the I one that's been on my mind. Like, who would donate the technology to an organization like Old Ranger Technology, especially a thing like Mystic Morpher,
Yeah,
which
yeah. Like, that one surprised me in particular. Like, wait, why do you just have Mystic Morphers? Those are very particular.
yeah, and also the fact that they focused on the RPM more for a second, and I'm like, wait a minute, because you remember the last episode of RPM?
Uh, spoilers for RPM. All I remember from the last episode is they finally leave the dome and there's signs of plant life growing outside.
Okay, so in the last episode, we get to know that a strain of Vengex virus is in the Red Rangers morpher.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, wasn't that for the Power Rangers Samurai crossover?
No, that it wasn't used for that.
Oh, really?
Power Rangers Samurai, yeah, Power Rangers Samurai and RPM, like kind of take place around the same time. So like the crossover takes place during RPM, like in the middle of the show,
Oh, that's weird.
and not after it. Yeah.
So nothing
So
happened from that with the Vengix virus.
no.
Huh. Okay, maybe Hasbro will do something with that.
Yeah, and that's true. That extra focus on that like kind of like I'm like, okay, they might do something with that this season. Because yeah, because Doctor K, I don't think she only showed up for this episode. So that's kind of the thing
Yeah. It's
idea
like
I have.
if you're gonna do something with a computer virus, this is the series to do it with.
Yeah, and it would explain. You can explain away where Evox comes from.
Hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, so yeah, and all of that, and I really like that the that okay, yeah, continue actually.
So the Evox Snare plan proceeds. Uh, they drain all the Morphex towers so that Evox won't be able to steal Morphex. That's what he needs to sustain himself. They then have a decoy transport truck so that Blaze and Roxy will attack it. And after, scaring them off, the commander shows up and gives a false report about one of the towers not being able to be drained, so that hoping that the enemy will overhear. Scrozzo does overhear and thinks that the tower is unguarded to go and report to Evox so they can lay the ambush. The reason.
You know when the scene was okay, when the scene was first started, I was like, oh dear, yeah, it's gonna be they're gonna talk about that. Scrubs is gonna hear again, and then they'll leave her unguarded. So then when I saw that the Yellow Ranger was not there, and then she showed up back up on top of the truck, and I'm like, holy shit, they fooled me.
Right? like, this is this is probably the most well-written episode of the season.
Yeah, and yeah, that's as far as like how the story is structured. This is the most well written episode this season. I think there are some character episodes that happen later that I prefer,
Right.
but
I'm not saying it's the
yeah,
best episode, but I think it's the most well-written.
yeah. So and the way that what do you call it? I really like the fact that the Rangers were pretty supportive of of Devin instead of being dismissive, and then we get to see that Steel is fighting this over.
So when Evox is in place, all that's left is to. Oh, Drago disconnected. Drago is back. Drago, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, Drago's back. So when Evox is in position, they fire the ice arrow at him, and he just backhands it back at them. Like not even phased.
I, 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 okay. The special effect is not that great, but this reminds me of something from the Star Wars Episode 7, where Kylo Ren just stops the thing.
I didn't watch that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, basically, in Star Wars, there's a Sith Lord who basically stops a laser beam coming at him in midair and then sends it back. And the framing of the scene was pretty similar.
Okay, but
Except the special effect was a bit very
but
weird.
Kylo Ren was using the Force. Evox literally backhands it.
Yeah.
So Devin shows up. Blaster pointed at Evox, who changes back into his dad, like, "No, don't shoot me. I'm your dad." And then Ben and Betty teleport in the whatevers to separate Evox and Mayor Daniels, and it works.
No, it was more of like he tries like he does that, and then Devin just pulls the blaster down and allows Mayor of Evox to walk ahead and
To
then
walk into position, yeah.
yeah. And I really like the actor, like basically he just gives a small smirk when he looks down, and that was pretty much, and that pretty much I really like, and that was a really good performance, I would say, because the switching of emotion is from what I hear is very hard like that without sounding unconvincing.
Mayor Daniels is rescued back at Grid Battle Force. He reveals that he doesn't remember anything since after the explosion with the gate. He noticed something weird going on with his hand. So pretty much the moment Evox took over, he blacked out.
Yeah, yeah, kind of shame. I would have liked something else to be revealed or something, but it is written well, so I think I don't have any other complaints after that.
Yeah, it was a good episode. And then we end on a classic Ben and Betty gag of them trying to use the same separators to rescue their dad's tux. And the result is them constantly swapping places with the tusk and the tux and the mannequin and each other's clothes and whatnot. So, episode 10, Intruder Alert. The Rangers receive a message from space warning them of an alien criminal named Ryjax or something. Drago, are you there? I think Drago might be having connection issues right now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you are. So, what's his name again? Chaku. Okay. So they go. They detect like an alien on Earth stealing Morphex, and they go deal with him. And it's this robot that they can't communicate with, and so they assume that it's Ryjax. Spoilers, it's not. It's his name is Chaku, the character suit comes from Space Sheriff Gavin, which is not a series being adapted into America right now. So he's just Chaku.
Yeah, and the one thing that still cracks me up about the name Chaku is that it's from the Henshin call, like the latter half of the Henshin call. What do you call it? So I think so. What do you call it? Shochaku. I think it's said in Japan, but they took the Chaku out of the latter half.
I
Kind of
don't
funny,
know.
but yeah. This is the second. This is the second Metal Heroes crossover we have had since last year. We got with Jiraiya.
Yeah, so I was reading the Wiki page about it because I was looking up the actor for Chaku, uh, and I noticed that Jiraiya was listed as Sheriff Skyfire.
It was quite dumb. The last season was there's some dumb shit.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I just finished watching Ninja a few days ago, uh, and my short review of it is that it isn't any worse than Key Ranger was. Um, so, looking at some of the stuff from Ninja Steel, just I have so many questions, but that's not what this podcast is about.
Yeah, because I think I'll have to answer the big Dino Charge questions later on.
I understand that Power Rangers takes creative liberties and writes their own stories and whatnot, but sometimes they make questionable decisions.
Yeah, last season was full of it. I'm probably not season one of Beast Morphers. The Ninja Steel was like, oh my god, I don't know. It's arguably the worst Power Ranger season ever written.
Worse than Wild Force?
Okay, Wild Force is much better than okay. Well, depending on whom you ask, Wild Force is a good season or an okay season.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's probably not going to be a podcast another time, but anyways.
Yeah.
So the Rangers confuse Chaku for the enemy because they can't communicate with him, and they take an object from him that they assume is a weapon, even though they don't actually know what it is. It is the object that was absorbing the Morph-X, which turns out he was using to refuel later. The real Ryjack shows up and strikes a bargain with Evox, like, oh, you have literally no Morph-X? I was planning on stealing some anyways, I'll drop off a barrel.
It is not like I was trying to steal that stuff anyways. He was trying to go into the Ranger Vault that established last episode.
Yeah, he's trying to steal that old Ranger tech, and Evox is like, I can tell you where it is if you do me a solid.
Yeah. That was the thing that actually like kind of not very bothered me, but that was hilarious was the fact that Ryjax felt more threatening than Evox.
Also, why is Ryjax's accent?
Did okay, Ryjax. Okay. Here's the thing. He comes from space. That's explanation enough. And then the second thing is that they are filming in New Zealand, so they could get people from Australia easily.
Space Australians. Got it.
Yeah.
But like the only reason I'm questioning his accent is because he's a rhino. Now, I've never been to Australia, but last I checked, I haven't heard of there being rhinos.
Probably in some zoo or something.
Ben and Betty volunteer to guard the Ranger vault. And so they set up a bucket of marbles with like a million tripwires and go on a stakeout. And then they get bored and want snacks and have to use the bathroom, so they have to try and tiptoe past the tripwires, fail, and do a little dance.
I hated this show not that much because it was not funny. It made no sense, and I have no idea why there aren't more guards.
Something about their dad being on the diet, so they've been guarding the cookie jar. I don't know. And then and then
Yeah,
and then Chaku just teleports in behind where Ben and Betty were hiding when the room is empty. So like none of their plan was going to work anyways.
yeah, but good thing there was an alarm.
Yeah, like when he does get into the vault, like Nate's silent alarm triggers and he's like, "Oh no." Uh, so they lock Chaku up and then they go and fight the real Rygax and realize like, "Wait, this is the real Rygax? Then who did we lock up?" Also, Rygax has a reanimator gun, and so he can bring old villains back to life. So Vargoyle is back, and he's gold now. Was he gold before?
No, he was black, silver.
Why is he gold now? Is that just because they had to make a new suit for the unique footage?
No, it's probably because Sentai footage.
I don't understand this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In Go Busters, basically they had Vargoyle's back. Like the suit for Vargoyle, like in gold coloring later on in the season, and then so I think they had the suit already. So instead of using the old one, they said why not use the new one?
All
And they
right.
already have Sentai footage from the crossovers. So
Uh, so Ravi and Zoe get hit by a horn beam, and now they're gravely ill. Devin decides to trust Chaku and gives him back his thing so he can recharge and talk to them. And he's like a space captain fighter who has to arrest Rygax as his last mission. So he and Devin team up and they go beat up Vargoyle. And for some reason, that cures Ravi and Zoe.
I mean, he was fighting the guy for years. I hope so. You must know this shit already.
I don't know. Like I got the impression that like they had to like defeat Rygax to cure them, but that's not what happened. But maybe I missed something when I was watching it.
They got infected by some space virus.
Hmm. So Devin and Chaku, yeah, they team up and they beat up Vargoyle. Uh, they have a little bit of a motorcycle thing going on. While Nate and Steel go and do a Megazord thing. Any comments on the
This
fight?
Third, because okay,
Drago? Oh.
yeah, basically, I really like the scenes in this episode, like the fight between Chaku, Red Ranger, and Bargoyle. And I like the fact that the collar that Bargoyle is having, like oh wait, the color that is used is basically from Lost Galaxy, where like one of the villains is controlling the other using the same mechanism.
Lost Galaxy. I can't think of a villain controlling another one in that show.
it was a one-off episode, I think.
Uh,
I forgot what was the name of the guy. Yeah, but that was quite a deep cut. I really like it.
okay. Yeah. So the Rangers are happy to have Chaku's help, and rolling into episode 11, The Greater Good, they invite Chaku to stay with them at Grid Battle Force and fight alongside them. An offer he far too easily accepts when you find out that he has a daughter back home who misses him.
And yeah, I did. The thing is, I thought he was a robot for this whole time.
Yeah, I did too. But then you find out that, like, uh, oh no, he's part cyborg because that's how he gets his powers. And he's ashamed of it and doesn't want his daughter to see him like that. And so his decision is to just never see his daughter again.
I don't know, but okay. Here's the
Are
thing.
you trying to figure out how to justify this?
No, and the thing is, it cannot be justified. But the fact is that I really like the motivation and the reasoning he has for it. It's not saying that it's good. It's a good reasoning, but it just gives the one-off character enough depth, which, to be honest, Becky didn't have.
Uh,
And it's also surprising to see how many people in the fandom prefer Chaku over the guy from the movies, the new Gavan.
I mean, that Govan was just like generic good guy hero, right?
Yeah,
Like he didn't
and this
have
one
any
is
real
Robocop.
quirk. Yeah. So Chaku here does actually have a character.
Yeah, and I think I do agree because I really like him and how at least his portrayal of the character and the fact that and his his motivations behind what he's doing and why he doesn't want to go back home because if he defeats Ryjack then yeah basically he's done and so he needs something else to do so that he has an excuse and that kind of that was really good and especially when Nate and him have conversations it kind of explores Nate's what do you call it psyche like how what he feels about what happened to his parents and they leave him at over here to go do stuff in other places.
Uh, so while moving into a room, Ben and Betty help him carry some stuff in, including a dangerous alien plant that will eat anything that moves.
Yeah,
You know, I get what you're saying about his psyche and whatnot, but also this guy is pretty irresponsible.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing: he's an alien,
I don't care.
and I
He
yeah.
knew it was
So that's the
dangerous.
only explanation.
He knew it was dangerous as soon as they opened the box.
Uh, I fear the safety of the people of Ben. Okay, for a second I was like, hope they just go away for a second because sometimes the antics have been really irritating me. So I'm like, just let them get eaten. We don't have to speak about this again.
Let's just do
Okay.
the gag and move on. Uh,
Yeah.
and so, because Ben and Betty didn't close the door behind them when they left, Nate walking by overhears Chaku talking to his daughter and learns that, like, wait, that guy has a daughter.
No, you can continue actually.
Sorry, I was yawning. Uh, so, Devin and Chaku team up again to go after Rygax. And then everyone gets together for a big fight scene, but Rygax gets away. He later shows up again, luring them out into what he thought was an ambush, but his gambit is to immediately turn into a giant so they can roll into the Megazord fight. Uh,
Yeah, and I like the fact that the guy took, the device that the guy used to turn into a giant is from the planet that Super Mega Force Silver was from.
okay, I was wondering what that was. It's like, alright, that's a reference to something, but I don't know.
Yeah, so since that planet got basically wrecked, and there's a because we Super Mega Force Silver found his Morpher and Ranger key there in that planet. So from here we can find we kind of find out that there are other technology that are just lying around there, and then this guy has been collecting some.
So the giant robot fight is actually really good, even if it's just stock footage. Uh, I only have one complaint. Chaku's space dragon is named Reptilo Beast.
Yeah, you could just have called it
What was wrong with calling it Space
Space Dragon.
Dragon?
Yeah, Reptiles Beast just sounds awkward.
Oh. And it implies other machines that I don't think exist.
Okay, wait, explain.
Like Reptilo Beast to me implies that there are other like avian beast or things like that. I haven't seen Gavin, so I don't know if there are actually other mechs in the show, but like there's nothing in the American version.
Oh,
Uh, and there he goes again. Alright, so the episode ends with Commander Shaw telling Chaku, like, hey, I heard you have a daughter. Why don't you go see her? And then Nate is like, here, let me help you out with that cyborg thing. And brings him to the animal DNA machine. The one that injected the Rangers with their animal DNA, including Steel, a robot. So, he flips it into reverse for Gavin. Not Gavin, Chaku.
and that was very cool use of the technology that they, what do you call it? They already have, instead of making something new up
Right.
from nowhere.
I was honestly expecting the separators again. So Chaku, with his own face, is able to go and see his daughter again. Oh, and Betty get to keep the plant, which apparently eats garbage, but spits the clean plastic back up. It's environmentally friendly, apparently.
It is dangerous.
It is dangerous. Like, they shouldn't have kept it.
Unless this comes up in some form of last episode or something where like it just eats Ewoks or something like that, I don't want it. I hope this thing never comes back.
It probably won't. That CGI doesn't look cheap. I mean, yes, it looks cheap, but, like, it still costs money. Um, so, episode 12, Finders Keepers. The Rangers locate Rygax's ship with all the stolen Ranger equipment on it. Zoe specifically finds it first. But then there's an unknown someone flying towards it. So Zoe decides to act fast and approaches the ship, triggers the self-destruct sequence, and it blows up. Just in time for, like, Skrull's will be like, hey, I've located the ship. And now it's gone.
The line delivery from the ads from the voice actor of Scott was great.
So Blaze and Roxy drop down with the reanimator and bring back Snide. And I looked at the suit and I went, that looks familiar. And so I looked into it and it's like, oh, it looks like the villain from, what was it? Either Ninja Storm or Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder. Okay, in the Sentai, he was the reanimation of Zeltrax from Zeltrax's Sentai counterpart, but here, since they used the suit in the previous season, what do you call it? In Dino, they used that same suit in Dino Charge as a major villain in that show, in the second half of the show. So they brought Snide back, and he's voiced by the guy who voiced Scarlet.
Oh, that's cool. Meanwhile, Zoe sees the mysterious someone and uses one of Rygax's command control collar, whatever thingies, and throws it at the mysterious figure. Alright, Drago, I have an important question.
Yes.
What is with Keeper's design costume?
I have no idea. It's creepy.
like, it looks like they wanted to make a taller E.T.
Okay. I think I can say they wanted to make Yoda, but with goofy colors.
Like this is what I meant when I was saying before that, like, I get that they want to write their own story, but, like, sometimes they make questionable decisions. This is one of them. Why did you need this?
Yeah, okay.
Especially when you had Xenowing. You already had the Tauren from the Sentai version.
Okay, I think there are two reasons that could be why. Is either the shoot for Xenowing was too fragile and it might so that they didn't want to damage it, or they are just blowing up money. They just blew up money on this suit that season. This season is good, but Keeper is not one of its best ideas.
So Keeper is just like the weird part of an otherwise good show.
Yeah.
Okay. Less important question. Why is Blue a Neanderthal?
Okay, he was a caveman who got frozen in ice like Captain America, and yeah, he showed up in present day.
That's kind of funny because I was watching this crossover thinking there must have been time travel in that show. That would make sense. Nope. Nope. It was encased in ice or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, he was okay. Okay, here's the thing. Basically, what happened was dinosaurs were wiped out by an asteroid the main villain dropped on Earth accidentally. So
Wait. Hold on. I read something about this actually. Was it didn't Keeper build a bomb to stop the main
yeah,
villain and then accidentally blew it up and killed the dinosaurs? Wasn't this all
yeah,
Keeper's fault?
kind of, but even the main villain was responsible for it as well. since the guy, since the guy is a bounty hunter, so he just take an asteroid because he can mine gems for his girlfriend. And yeah, I think that got wrong.
wait,
Okay.
wait. Are you telling me the main villain of Dino Charge wants the Energems, that give the Rangers their powers, as jewelry for his girlfriend?
That and then unlimited powers, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's a bonus though. That's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a show! I should probably watch
Hey,
it.
Sledge is one of the best. Sledge is one of the best villains we have had for the past 10 years, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I only hear good things about it, so despite everything, I should probably watch it. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean there are some stuff that I know there's some stuff that is just wildly not written well, but otherwise like overall it is a good series.
yeah. So yeah, more dimension portals. Dino Charge Red, Blue, Black, and Gold jump into this world for the crossover because those are the ones they were able to get the actors to return.
Yeah, they got all the actors to return. To be honest, like all six of them out of 12.
But Green
But
and Pink only did voice roles.
yeah, they only did voice roles, so yeah, they couldn't show off physically.
But what about Cyan, Gray, Violet, and Silver? Why are those characters not here?
Silver went back to space.
Okay,
Uh,
not on Earth.
Sai, yes, Sai, the other four, the Violet is since Violet is technically like okay. I think the reason why Violet is not there is just because they couldn't get the actors back and Sentai footage. But yeah, that's the only thing I can
Yeah,
say.
because
Otherwise,
airing schedules are weird. Sentai footage, yeah.
yeah.
um,
So other than that, no, yeah.
now,
Or maybe they're taking care of dinosaurs or something.
now, when it comes to Dino Charge Black, does he always look like a douche, or
He does. Yeah, but he's a cool character. Don't it's not that he is a douche as per se, but
he just dresses like one?
yeah, pretty much.
Uh, and I'm not even gonna ask what's going on with Gold. I got a pretty good read on his character just watching this.
Yeah, it's the same thing as I think. Okay. Instead of being encased in ice, he got encased in a villain.
Right. I figured they did the whole villain in the armor thing.
Yeah, yeah, they did the same thing as Ichi.
All right. So the villains kidnap Keeper and make him tell them everything he knows. So Keeper just tells them the entire plot of Dino Charge off camera. Is what I gathered from that.
Yeah.
And Evox, the one thing Evox takes away is, okay, so I can make my own dinosaur. Cool, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Okay, that's one thing I really like about these crossovers, that they made the mentor like quote unquote mentor character like recite the entire last season and use the plot from last season to for the crossover. Is I'm not last season, sorry, last season, because last season the name is here. So
But we forget about that one
uh,
constantly, apparently.
yeah, okay. Yeah, we really just forget about that one. So, and that's one thing that I really enjoyed, is that, okay, you know the portal thing that they have.
Yes.
Okay, this thing showed up in two places. Shattered Grid, the comic book event where a bunch of Rangers crossover, like almost a lot of Rangers crossover for a fight, and last season where like uh, where uh, where they reveal that they can just hop in from dimension. Rangers can just hop in from one dimension to another using this trans-dimensional portal thingy. Like they get after the season gets over, basically.
Uh, so, is this a plot device that originated in the comics?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool,
it was
actually.
meant. Yeah, it was not a plot device as such, but it was a thing that exists in the comics, but they use it here in the show as well. And yeah, and that's kind of that I found really really cool. Like I'm like, oh shit.
So, the villains have no more need for a keeper, so they offer a trade him for a bunch of the old Ranger tech. Scrozzle takes the
Not Ranger Tech. The stuff that they got from Raja's ship, like he was
yeah,
collecting
the
villain stuff
old
in here.
Ranger collectible toys. Whatever. It's a
Yeah,
bunch of plot devices to revive the villains from Dino Charge.
basically.
Scrozzle takes the box and runs, and Sinai doesn't hold up his end of the bargain. So the teams have to team up, but oh no, there's a Gigadrone, so Beast Morpher Rangers go do a Megazord fight, and Dino Charge Rangers just start beating the shit out of Snide. And Green and Pink show up to help.
Until yeah, so until all other people and other then other villains show up to help as well, because Crossbow was like, let's revive these people as well. Okay. No, the most hilarious part is that when Sledge gets revived, he says it's a bomb, because that's how he died twice.
Oh. So
uh,
so the American version of Candelera, when Slug or whatever shows up, uh, some things are said, and Candelera is like, "Don't talk about my husband that way" or something like that. Uh,
yeah, they got married.
okay, because like Blue made a comment as well, so I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure she was talking about Slug and not Blue, because in the Sentai version, she and Blue had that thing.
Oh yeah, but this was about this. This was a Sledge, not this guy.
Also, what's this version of Lucky Roo like? Because I noticed
Who?
it was at Lucky Roo, the little like scarecrow, the green one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because in the Sentai,
Oh,
like he wasn't a fighter or anything, but here he was actually fighting.
yeah. The thing is, I don't remember it well. Let me just think.
Hmm.
Yeah, he fights occasionally, not all the time, but name is shit. I don't remember this guy as much. Okay,
All right.
can
Well,
can
we can move on. Uh,
yeah, okay.
so they rescue Keeper, get the color off of him. Zoe apologizes, and everyone goes back to their home dimensions.
No, it was more like we have some shit that's happening over there. So bye bye. We'll see you whenever you need us.
So, uh, there's actually a one of the special episodes that takes place between this and the next one, which is mostly a clip show, but it also involves Evox finding Goldar.
E- and one thing, I mean, the B plot is whatever they defeat the dinosaur villain and burn to Sentai footage, but I like the fact that they were just like, okay, this it was, the Dino Thunder episode Legacy of Power, where like Tommy was talking about like all the past Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah, this was just a villain version of that, and that's cool.
Yeah. So that brings us to episode 13, Grid Connection. Keeper shows up at Grid Battle Force again and is like, "Yo, Devin, watch out for meteorites. Also, the rest of you are gonna get in a huge battle, maybe."
Or he just saw shattered grid in his vision, but then they didn't realize what time it takes place in.
Wait, is that real? He saw Shattered Grid?
I no, it's just I'm just poking fun at it because
Okay.
it's a huge battle
Okay.
with a lot of rangers. So I'm like,
Yeah, no.
which one?
Honestly.
Uh,
In fact,
yeah.
when I was
So
watching that scene, all I could think was Super Mega Force. Like, dude, are you sure you weren't seeing the past?
uh, yeah. But one thing I kind of didn't like about the scene is I wish the meteor thing came first and Keeper didn't show up.
No, but then we wouldn't have gotten proof that he can scry the future vaguely.
Yeah, or
Was that
believe in the
important?
morphing grid, like we believe in the force.
God, he really is just Power Rangers Yoda, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So, Devin
uh,
has a super important video game competition to go to. So he bails. Then they get a distress signal from the Dino Charge Dimension. So the Rangers jump in and go help out and get their asses kicked by Goldar Maximus. Hmm.
yeah,
The
and it
voice,
just show
okay?
like how
It,
threatening the
it
guy is.
it's a different voice actor and they're doing a good job of it, but at the same time, I miss the scruffy old Goldar voice.
Yeah, it's not that it is close, but it was just a little off. That's what I felt about when I heard Goldar's voice.
Right, it's because you have an established character, so you already know what they sound like, but then they don't sound like that.
Yeah, that was a problem in episode 13. Not 13, sorry, the episode before that. The one where they show all the actors, not all the actors, all the clip show where they had to redub over some of the scenes because they had to redub over some of the scenes. So the actors that were present in New Zealand, yeah, they got back. They did their voice actors, so it doesn't sound off. But the ones that were not, oh dear.
Oh, oh no. Uh,
Yeah, so
so
this is why
Goldar.
Power Rangers need to unite. Okay, what I was gonna say is this is why Power Rangers need to unionize so that they can get older actors back.
So Goldar Maximus starts stealing some of the Dino Energems. And Ravi sets out a distress signal to Grid Battle Force. When Devin eventually gets back, Commander Shaw's like, I was trying to call you, where were you? And Devin was like, I was getting hit by a meteor. Here it is, by the way. And it disrupts energy signals, and so Devin realizes, like, oh, maybe I can use that to go into the morphing grid and send out an SOS, which works.
Yeah, okay. I think okay, this kind of thing has been tried by Zordon in the comics before because he went to the morphing grid and he called out other Rangers for Shattered Grid in a similar fashion. But since he's not Zordon, so he has to use whatever he has right now to do it.
Devin also makes the rationalization of like, hey, maybe this meteorite was sent to me by the morphing grid so that I could do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jason.
Okay. I think I'm getting a cramp from all this stretching.
Yeah. And it turns out to be a power coin. Woohoo!
Yeah, so his SOS works, and Jason jumps in from a dimension portal. Original okay, Red Ranger.
Yeah, so I didn't want to walk all the way there, so let's just jump in.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah. Okay. I think I just figured out the reason why they had to do this. They had to make this power coin is because okay, Rocky from Rocky, right?
Second Red Ranger.
Yeah. Okay. He has all the Mighty Morphin powers set basically.
But weren't those destroyed?
Okay. They apparently from the reason is that during the legendary battle, because of the fact that Gosei had backed up all their powers in the Ranger keys, they got it back basically.
Yeah, I think they keep changing the explanation for how they got their power coins back. Honestly,
not really, because I think the only ones that were destroyed were the ninja power coins. Really, if you think about it.
Really?
They just had kept the white. Yeah, they just had kept the rest of the older power coins inside whatever box they had.
All right. Oh, sorry.
So they needed an extra power coin for what do you call it?
Emergencies.
Yeah, for no, not for emergencies, so that they can explain why Steve was if they want to bring back Steve Cardenas or Austin St. John again, they can explain why both of them could be the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, and not have this explanation of having hot potato the Tyrannosaurus coin.
Do you mean?
Okay, like basically, like okay, hello, Rocky, can you pass me the Tyrannosaurus coin? They call me in for a crossover.
Like I read.
Okay.
Oh, Oh, I think. Okay, so I think I watched in an interview that in Forever Red, if they were able to get Steve Cardenas to appear, he was like gonna be Jason's butler or something, or
Yeah,
like Tommy's
and
butler, or
I don't think that would have been appropriate because that is just dumb.
uh, so. Uh, there's mostly just a lot of talking and fanboying uh, for half the episode before we get to the real fight, which is the big.
Not really talking and fanboying, but rather okay. So what Evox is trying to do is since dinosaurs are alive in this universe because time travel, so since dinosaurs are alive in the dinosaur universe, so Evox can easily just get dinosaur DNA. And
So
they use a plot from Dino Charge where they just put an energy inside a geoid along with dinosaur DNA to create a Megazord.
right, and so we get the
Yeah,
big dinosaur Sentai team up. Uh, Using it's all stock footage, voiced over, but it's still cool to see this.
yeah, and I did like what do you call it, and I really felt that this crossover for these past episodes have been more about Beast Morphers and Dino Charge crossing over than the Dino War. Jason just showed up
Right.
along with the other Rangers, but
They
yeah,
actually
and
took the time
this
to
has
set it up.
yeah, because they were not they only took the time they took the time to set it up, and also the fact that this has the opposite problem of what do you call it, the Kyoryuger GoBusters movie where the focus was more on Kyoryuger and the dinosaur Sentai rather than the
Right,
GoBusters
the Go
team.
Busters were
Yeah,
barely in that movie.
yeah, this is more focused on the Dino Charge and Beast Morphers team than the other returning Rangers, which I am fine with. Like
But
I think this is a better handled.
still, like when we got to like the big transformation, I was kind of like, shouldn't there be a roll call right now?
I think it's because that they only had 21 minutes, so they were like, okay, we don't have time for roll call.
But like I understand why it's not here. There's like a dozen reasons why they wouldn't do one. I was just kind of like, oh man, I feel like there should be a roll call right now.
Yeah, that's. I think that's my biggest problem with I think the last year's crossover and even this one is that they have just done away with the gold calls, which kind of stinks.
Uh, so Evox leaves the Beast Morpher Rangers to Blaze, who goes down in one shot. No joke. He turns
Yeah,
around. Devin is aiming like the lion bow at him, fires it, and blows him up.
okay, no, he aimed the lion bow and he attached the what do you call it, the other gun as well, and then he fire and then he uses the arrow that makes it created to freeze Evox to just fire instead of freezing now this explosion. So what do you call it? Other than that, yeah, the dinosaur team make their entire combined weapon where they fire the blast.
Which was pretty cool. And it
Yeah,
defeats
I
Goldar
really like that.
Maximus. I forgot though. I actually did enjoy Goldar and Jason having a little bit of banter with each other.
Yeah, and yeah, and since it kind of it was a nice callback because for the Rangers, I think I don't know whether there's an extended version of this or not because this aired in UK and I think the US one would probably give a more leeway for a 30-minute long episode. Maybe there's more fight scenes in the I think in the US airing probably, but I can't say for sure. Other than that, yeah, it was that was pretty cool to see all these Rangers, even if the fight was a bit too fast paced.
It was cool seeing the big Megazord team up.
Yeah, and you know what? I really love this one thing that they did. I know the footage is a bit older, so with Mighty Morphin, so they using that again was kind of jarring for a second. But unlike in the Sentai, they use a white void, while here they use the over cockpit footage, and it made the thing a lot better.
Right, it made more sense.
Yeah, and I really like that, and the entire episode, and the fact that this Jason just called out, oh no, that's even worse than Serpentera. It had 9 heads. And yeah, and I like the fact that in the end, like the Megazord fight was pretty cool. That was the highlight of this episode.
Uh, and that's pretty much it. Uh,
Yeah, it was a nice story arc that was building from episode 9 to 13. Like,
right, between
yeah,
introducing the concepts of Rangers from other dimensions, as well as building up just team up with other allies, all leading into this overarching story. Like, this was just a well done series of episodes.
yeah. I'm not saying that these were perfect. There were some issues in each episode, but like overall, the episodes were like really was solid. Like you had it reminded me of season 1, but on a much bigger scale, where like one thing leads to another in every episode. Like okay, it started with the Ranger introducing the other dimension and Ranger balls, and then it went to Ryjax coming for the Ranger balls because he was collecting Ranger and villain weapons, and then that resulted in Ryjax getting destroyed. The next episode, Chaku going away, but Ryjax stuff is still there, and from there they just springboard into the crossover, and yeah, that was really cool. And I really and okay, Dino Charge is practically the new generation of Power Rangers fans. Is Mighty Morphin, like the younger kids, they love this season a lot. From what I hear and what I've seen from the kids that I know, uh, it was nice seeing them again, especially since Yoshi, especially that they managed to get all the actors back, even for a voice role. Since two of the green and pink didn't like working on Power Rangers because of the pay and the fact that unlike the other Rangers who were either already actors in New Zealand or already had other like they were already established in Hollywood as stunt performers and were already doing smaller roles. I think the other two actors weren't really what do you call it that established, so they didn't really like working on Power Rangers. And I was surprised they got them back. I was just saddened that they didn't get anyone from Dino Thunder back, unless the voice actor for Blue Ranger is the same guy. Right?
Sorry. Um,
What are your thoughts on the crossover overall?
so this was this was a well done crossover. I kind of like that they didn't spend a whole lot of time on introductions. It's just like we're Power Rangers, so are we. All right, like like I haven't seen Dino Charge, but I didn't feel like I needed to, despite how little of the show was explained. It's like all right, I get what the all I need to like. So writing for me was really solid. The unique choreography also pretty solid. Um, and it was a good look at some villain portrayals from that series.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, okay, you know how a crossover is supposed to make you interested in the seasons that were
Right.
there before or follow. That's how I wanted to watch Lightspeed Rescue after watching Counter Force because of the crossover, and this did a really good job at making me want to go back and watch Dino Charge.
I might actually watch Dino Charge.
Yeah, whenever you get free time, you should check it out.
Yeah. But I got a lot of things on my list of to watch.
I can relate. It's too much at this point since there's so many goddamn Tokusatsu running around right now, and I love all of them. Except I think Zero One and Zero One and Pyramid are like low on a priority list, but otherwise, yeah.
Uh, I want to watch Kamen Rider Ghost because it's the only Heisei series I haven't seen besides Amazon's. And
Okay, I think you.
go on.
Okay, no, I think you should watch Amazon's for either Amazon's or Ghost. Either one of them works, because both those seasons, depending on are hit or miss depending on whom you ask. That's the so you save those for last.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Ghost first, and then I'll get to Amazon's at some point.
Mm. Amazon is quite short, so you don't need to worry about that.
Right. But thanks for watching tonight, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for a podcast on Cure Major, actually. A new episode for that dropped. And I believe we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.